There's this piece of advice that my grandpa always told my dad, and then my dad always told us. When you see two white people fighting, having a problem, don't get involved. Because one thing that they're going to do is put their differences aside to turn on you. Crazy Stupid Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Crazy Stupid Podcast. My name is Esther.
And I'm Adrian.
And today we're here to talk about The Boys Season 5, Episode 6. So, Sister Sage, I just want to say, immediately... Sorry. First of all, I just want to say, I told you so. I told you so. I told you didn't know what you were dealing with.
Oh, she dumb as hell, bro.
And I just want to say, there's this piece of advice. I immediately thought about this. There's this piece of advice that my grandpa always told my dad, and then my dad always told us. And it was basically this. When you see two white people fighting, having a problem, don't get involved. Because one thing that they're going to do is put their differences aside to turn on you.
It's funny because she was low-key kind of giving that advice to MM, and she didn't take it for herself. Oh, God.
Meddling in these people things, thinking you know what's gonna happen, thinking you can manipulate yourself. No, baby, we're done. We're cooked. It's over. Curtains. Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
When Butcher was like, "Run
where?
Run where? What's the point? You might as well just face your fate now."
In the end, with all that intelligence that Sister Sage has, she's smarter than Homelander, she's smarter than Butcher, she's smarter than MM. She thought she could outwit her way out against like whiteness and white supremacy. No! No!
Also, I'm sorry, but girl, couldn't you just go live in a bunker?
Without the war, yes.
Like I was thinking about that this whole episode. I'm like, you're all of this. Just go live in the bunker.
You could make it out as, I think it's zinc that Homelander can't see through. You built that out. He'd basically never be able to find you. You're smart enough to escape on your own.
Why are we doing all of this? This is so silly to me. Go down there and read your damn books. Like, I just don't get it. Actually, it's all your fault now.
Yeah.
Like, actually, you had all your little phases. You built him up into all of this and you fumbled in the end. And it's literally all your fault. Talk about, this is impossible. It can't be. What? Sorry.
It's so interesting because she like tries to come at a few of the boys, almost trying to make it seem like, yeah, we're all sort of doing similar things here. Nah, bro. Because when MM was like, you've been building up Homelander for years now, whether this plan were to go through or not, like these stakes are this high. I would argue primarily because of you.
Because of you and him.
Yeah, but Homelander on his own, he's an idiot. He can't, he would not be able to build out this infrastructure, gain this political capital without Sister Sage.
Like the difference is like this was not their original plan. They've been doing all of these other things the entire time, trying to fight against this, trying to prevent it from getting to this point.
Right.
You were trying to force it to get to this point so that you could commit mass murder so that you could live in a bunker in peace. They actually don't want to commit mass murder. She really frustrates me.
Yes.
Like, girl. The actress who plays her, chef's kiss, phenomenal.
Incredible, bro.
Phenomenal. I hope I see her in lots of other things where she can play very likable roles. I have to say, I find MM's lack of compassion like really startling, considering that last season he is the person who saw A-Train and was like, we can get him. I can appeal to his humanity.
I think it's supposed to be that we're supposed to take that. And some of this was like, maybe they could have given them more than 8 episodes, but I think the camps is what really hurt his moral compass a little bit.
I wish that they would give some of the time that they're giving to Soldier Boy
to MM.
Yeah,
that I agree with.
I really wish so that this could feel like a little bit more of a continuous arc because it's feeling like kind of startling. And Liza Alonso's doing a lot with what he has. Like he's showing a lot with like his facial expressions and the moments that he has. We got to see like whatever a legend said to him when he was leaving, like obviously that had an impact. And obviously, you know, someone like Sister Sage trying to draw any sort of comparisons of their morality had an impact. And so it seems like we're going to see some shift and some change in him. But I'm disappointed in how they handled his character this season.
I'd agree to that. I feel like if we saw more tragedy with what they endured in the camps, I think some of those scenes would land a bit more impactfully. The camp thing was like sort of resolved in like an episode.
I understand that this is a show that is like very kooky and it's very crass, and I know that that's like part of its identity as a show. And I also feel like they know how to balance that with like genuine emotion sometimes, and I feel like they're like dropping the ball just a tad with some specific characters, I would say.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the scene that Starlight had with Oh Father. We got some hints to his backstory, right? He's sort of taken this sort of cynical, nihilistic approach to his faith because he sort of felt like in many ways this God that he dedicated his life to kind of forsaken him in a lot of instances in his life. But he has this line where, you know, Starlight sort of brings him, or at least tries to bring him back and center him in his faith again, of like, God's supposed to be a God of compassion and he's supposed to be a God of mercy. And these are all it's like an antithesis to who Homelander is. He has this line where he's like essentially, I'm okay with the things that Homelander's doing because he will at least fight against what he calls the like secular nation. What we see in Oh Father wanting to just kind of like, I'm okay with the ugly with Homelander because at least he'll handle these 2 or 3 things, is what we see a lot of evangelical pastors do. A few people disagreed with how I interpreted Firecracker's pastor. Now, I don't think Firecracker's pastor is in the same category as Oh Father. I want to make that clear. I think what I was trying to say is that Firecracker's pastor, he calls Homelander a great American. To me, when I see that, I think that is an indication that prior to the religious blasphemy, there were things that he was okay with Homelander doing. Is it to the extent of Oh Father and the things that Starlight's calling him out on? No, I don't think so. But I do think there is a spectrum here where a lot of these ministers find themselves a little bit more on the right side of it, right? The secular nation, it's a loaded term that brings in a lot of things. It brings in the queer community. It brings in women's reproductive rights. It probably brings in race-related conversations. All these like buzzwords that we've seen evangelicals wrestle with for the last several years. It would not shock me if this was the line that the pastor drew and was willing to ignore these other things because he saw them as immoral based on his faith values. I guess that's where I wanted to go with these two characters, because like they are very different, but there's definitely, I would argue, some similarities at the core of some of their beliefs. It's just a difference with how far one of them was willing to go with Homelander.
First of all, just the phrase good American has political connotations.
Exactly.
Because who the hell be saying that? There's nothing that he has done that you could categorize as good unless you agree with some of the things that he's been doing. I wanted to talk a little bit about a number of characters, but the character that sparked this thought for me was Deep. Because
bro,
at first I was like, honestly, it's like really unserious that like the thing that pushes you over the edge is the death of a bunch of fish.
Those are his friends, okay?
No, but literally, this is the thing that I realized. I was like, oh, like he feels more akin and connected to the fish of the sea. I guess I wasn't taking him seriously as a character, to be honest, and so I wasn't thinking that deeply. But like,
I mean, he had the partner.
He literally has romantic relationships with fish. But it made me realize that like the Vought serum and all of these people that have had that have V and are superpowered, they are so isolated from humanity in all of these different ways, and it causes them to act out in all these harmful ways that we're seeing in the show. So you have Deep, obviously, literally feeling like a fish, like the guy, like that's lonely, like that's a lonely life, that's a lonely existence, and you see like he struggles with human connection. That's why he's ranting on his little podcast all the time about women and, you know, what he did to Starlight and like season 1 and all of this stuff. It's like you quite literally do not know how to connect with human beings. That's not an excuse. He's a bad person, but that's part of what's going on there. And then I even thought about what O Father was saying. Being a preacher from 9, I personally have weird feelings about, like, I know that some people are like, this is good, this is the Holy Spirit. I have weird feelings about, like, children.
Yeah.
It being in those positions in church, because I think that they are sometimes being put in positions and having to, like, tap into emotions that they can't fully understand and fathom. You can imagine, because of this power that he has, somebody somewhere saw an end. They saw a way to utilize this, to capitalize off of this. And so they put him in this position where he is being a spiritual counsel to adults.
Yeah.
As a 9-year-old, praying for them, having to take in all of their traumas and all the things that they are dealing with, that they are putting on him to try and solve. And then he is having to bear the weight of what he feels is a failure when the prayers go unanswered. Again, that's very isolating. It isolates you from other people, and also it isolated him from his faith and from God because of it. I thought about Sister Sage, and I know that she is saying that she really wants to be alone, and I do believe her. And also a big part of her story is the fact that nobody would hear her when she was trying to save her grandmother's life.
Yeah.
And, like, the isolation of that. It really made me think, like, with all of these people and this overall theme of mortality and humanity and just an acceptance of your life as it is, it's really difficult for people to do that when your life feels so unfulfilled. And I think that's really what's happening. All these people, Homelander, of course, being the prime example because of all of the myriad of things that went wrong in his upbringing and all of that, their life just feels perpetually unfulfilled because they feel so disconnected from other people. And so they hang on to their superiority over others to make themselves feel better. And then because of that, they just trample all over other people in an attempt to hold on to that. And you see that the only characters that we've seen in this show that come to terms with the end of their story or the end of their life or the end of whatever their current reality is and accepting some sort of major change are characters who found deep connection with other people. Starlight with Huey and Kamiko with Frenchie. I even think MM and Butcher in a sort of twisted way. Like, they, I think, have come to terms with their own mortality. And I think part of that is Butcher has this great love story. Even, I think, at the end, what happens with Soldier Boy. Part of why he makes that decision at the end, it's informed by his recognition of people that he has cared about. They're bad people, but to him, from his perspective, his relationship with Stormfront was a gift that he got to have, regardless of whether or not he gets to be the most powerful and the strongest and the end all be all of Vought's greatest, dreams.
Yeah.
In the end, he recognizes, oh, I got to experience this with this person. I'm okay if it's not me, if I get to pass this torch on to somebody else.
We had 2 comments that I feel like sort of tie into what you're saying here. The first is from Supernatural Awesome 1. This is in relation to Sage, but basically they're saying, I think she's utterly given into apathy. Her one spark of happiness was Godolgan, and he betrayed her and broke her heart. Now, this is in addition to, like, what happened to her parents, what happened to her grandma. She reminds me of Rick from Rick and Morty, where she's so smart that she comes to the conclusion that nothing matters. And I feel like if she had been given the opportunities, whether it was with her grandmother or someone else, in the way that we're seeing Annie and Kimiko, like, I think she would be moving completely different.
Yeah. It's just upsetting. Like, guys, just make friends.
Yeah. Hey everyone, so we want to take just like a quick break from the video just to show our appreciation for you guys. It's been great to see this grow into this little small community that we have, and we want to see where this can go. So if you all wouldn't mind, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the hype button as well. That would mean a lot to us. All right, back to the video.
Even see with Homelander in the scene with Legend, he lets him live.
It's so interesting. I feel like he almost got through to him.
I think he did, as much as you can.
Yeah.
The Homelander's too far gone. He's not going to backtrack now. I think that he is honestly just like quite literally like biologically broken. Like I think that they missed some pieces when they designed him.
I think it was the actor who plays Firecracker was like, that was like the first moment someone actually showed Homelander love, and we saw what his response was.
Well, see, I think the issue with that is I think he knew that that's not what that was. I think he understood that that was desperation. It's still a love born from fear. It's like, I worship you. I think you're awe-inspiring and absolutely terrifying. And then also I'm saying this in a moment of desperation. I think the thing that got through to him with Legend was that Legend was not afraid.
Yeah.
At all. And so he had no ulterior motive to be saying these things. And then Legend expressed a genuine empathy for him. Said, I feel for you. I'm not afraid of you. I feel bad for you. I see how you were failed. And I am sorry that that happened to you, essentially. Yeah. And I think that's a level of humanity that he has never experienced. Like when he pats him on the shoulder, you see him afterwards be like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, just confused, not offended, just like, whoa. He's not offended that he's not afraid of him. He's just genuinely like, what's going on right now? And I think it's because no one has given him that, because everything that everybody around Homelander feels from him is filtered through their fear of him.
Yeah.
And he sees that and he doesn't know what to do about it. And it's just always going to put a space between him and other people.
Man, there's this scene in The Sopranos that I feel like exemplifies this like perfectly. So obviously Tony, he's like in charge of, you know, what they do in New Jersey, and everybody, they just kind of suck up to him. Like there's nothing there that feels genuine. He cracks a joke and they're just going to laugh their ass off, even if they don't sort of find it funny. And there's this moment that I feel like is similar where like earlier in the episode, someone tells him that like, bro, they're only doing this. They're sucking up to you. They're not actually your friends. And he doesn't really believe it, but he tests it when he says a joke. And they all are like laughing hysterically. And you see this moment. Oh, man, Gavdani does such a good job with the acting because he just is like, oh, I am like genuinely alone.
Yeah.
Even though there's like 20 men that I've known for years sitting at this exact table, you see the depression take hold of him throughout the entire series. But that just, it's a bit of a tangent, but that reminded me of that.
No, yeah, I think it's literally the exact same thing. Like your power becomes like your own worst enemy.
Yes.
The one thing that you want most in the world, at least for Homelander, he cannot have it.
Yeah.
He cannot have it because of who he is. I don't know what's going to happen. I will say I'll be very disappointed if we actually lose in the end. I just don't think this is the time where we need a fascism wins message. Okay, please. Please. I know it's too late. I know it's already written and filmed and everything. So I know there's nothing that can be done. But like that is like actually like I don't want that.
Release the director's cut.
Like I don't want that right now, personally.
Imagine the last scene is just like Homelander sitting on a throne and all the boys are gone. That'd be pretty rough.
But I don't really know what we have no plan. I guess we have Ryan.
Maybe Sister Sage has an alternative plan, or if it's not her, there's Stan Edgar or his son-in-law. Remember the doctor chemist who created the virus? Maybe he was able to create something for Ryan. I'm trying to, because we haven't seen him in a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
So, and they've built him up for something.
Yeah.
There's got to be something there that he's able to do, but in his current state, he's incapable because we saw like he come on, bro. He didn't stand a chance against Homelander.
Yeah, so something that makes him really strong.
Listen, this is me being desperate because I need a win. I don't actually.
Marie Moreau, girl, where you at? Get her on the phone, Marie.
Bring in the real niggas.
Where are you, girl?
I actually need to see her character, bro. Like, I love her character so much, man.
It just actually, even if Gen V wasn't canceled, it actually just doesn't make sense that this group of people would know who she is and what she can do, and they would just have her out there gallivanting on her own.
Help.
It's sorry, but it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't tag her in.
There's nothing more important that she could be doing right now.
Like, what are we saying? Like,
I'm sorry, leave those Starlighters alone. This is do or die right now.
What are we saying right now? Like,
Okay.
She can bring people back to life. She can kill them. She can explode brains. What are we doing? Yeah, I guess now at least we don't have to worry about Kamiko and Annie because there's no point in releasing the virus now.
I mean, Butcher might go off on the deep end and just be like, F it. He might lose himself. I don't know. I feel like he might be a little unpredictable next week.
Everybody might be.
He might be very unstable.
Sister Sage, girl, you're not safe, honestly. You're not safe with them.
To be honest, she needs to live. She needs to live for the rest of her life with the guilt. You need to be able to be like, I almost caused the world to end.
I'm not as smart as I thought I was.
Yeah.
Somebody one-upped me. Somebody outsmarted me.
Anyways, y'all, those are our thoughts. We'd love to hear what you guys think about this episode. What do you think about this season so far? Let us know in the comment sections below. And with that, we will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Peace.